Pretty good, pretty good. Just wanted to come by and say, bam, second one done.
Oh, snap. How much is that?
That is 10,375.
Oh,
Woo!
wow, man. That's awesome, man.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Tell us
It's
a little bit
been-
more about it.
Yeah, I want to hear all about that.
Yeah, so it's been 5 months in the work since my first deal. So I've been grinding, getting at it. That was a reverse driving for dollars lead that
Awesome.
I left a sticky note on, and the realtor actually called me. So the seller got the property from their mom, who passed away, unfortunately. And the house was like completely gutted, like they were in the middle of remodeling it, but she passed away. And so I put the sticky note on there because it was as a probate lead. And so all the probates, and I just put sticky notes on them, and the realtor called me, and we made it work like that. We made it.
Sticky notes work.
Yeah, sticky
telling
notes.
you.
Yeah,
That's
we're
awesome,
not just giving
man.
you guys exercises to like waste your time and energy. I promise you. So,
What I say, you know what? Fernando took it and he got his second deal there. So I love it. Dude, that's awesome. How does that feel, man?
Well, it feels great because imagine like going 5 months just grinding and not seeing a result, and finally like one came up. Especially now with everything changing, everything being a little bit harder. I was like, man, I wonder if this is I wonder what's going on. But luckily, it panned through. So, and in between the first one and the second one, I had two that fell through, like, which is funny that you mentioned before about deals don't fall through. I guess, yeah, the two ones that I did before, I just got them at a higher price than what they were worth. So,
Well, you learned from it.
yeah, exactly, and but yeah, and so on to the next one. I guess I'm gonna ask you all the same question that I asked you the first time. What I do now?
Keep going. Like you gotta keep the sticky notes going. You got to keep just after it, right?
repeat it. And you don't know this yet, but as you move forward, you really learn how to talk to people a lot better. So,
yeah.
like when that next deal comes up, you're going to find a lot more profit in it, and you're going to have a lot more options. And especially rolling into 2023, guys, we have change coming to the market, and what seems difficult now is going to be your greatest strength in 2023, because change is why people make decisions in real estate. Remember, real estate is nothing more than a symptom of human problems.
Mm-hmm.
So people are starting to accept would you say people have accepted their prices aren't going up anymore, right?
Yeah, for sure. There's some people that are still kind of delusional, but yeah, for the most part,
that's correct. So that's phase one of a deteriorating market.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Remember, real estate takes so much more time to drop than stock markets, stuff like that. So sellers have accepted their prices aren't going up.
Mm-hmm.
So they do this, what we call a downward spiral. So now we're in the process of them chasing yesterday's prices. Okay. So if I say a realtor said, listen, 4 months ago, listen, I probably sell your cells for 200. And then here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the strategy. We're going to list it for 219 and see if we can get someone to overpay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Lo and behold, the market drops, interest rates go up, buyers drop, inventory's like just smoking up. And after like a month or two, they go, well, let's drop it to 2099. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then they drop it for another month, and then the seller is going to call and go, listen, what the heck's going on here? Like, we're not even getting offers, nothing. He's like, yeah, the market's changed. We're going to have to get below 200 to even get an offer. Okay, was that going to sell it low? That should get us the action. They're at 199. So do you see how they're constantly chasing yesterday's price?
Yeah.
This will go on for probably another 3 to 6 months. And then you're going to get to a point where there's so much inventory, there's so much choice on the market that buyers are going to be like, they'll just pick whatever they want. And sellers will do what we call give up. They're just going to go, just sell it. Okay. I've been there. We've all been there to a point. And when that happens, those that are prepared and know how to negotiate with people will do very well, because we are now past the price increases. Everyone's accepted their prices are flat, if not dropping. And now they're doing the spiral downward. So they're always chasing yesterday's prices. At some point, they can only live so long having a vacant house on the market, making payments, insurance, taxes, mortgage payments, and you're going to see this just get worse. So knowing that going into 2023, it's frustrating right now because even you guys are going, well, these prices are looking good right now. They're not, guys. You're looking at yesterday's prices. They're only going to get much, much cheaper, and you got to realize it. So it's like looking at a stock. Say you were looking at the Tesla stock and it looked really attractive at 300. Guys, dude, that thing went all the way down to like 110, 120. Yeah. And so we're all thinking, oh, it was 1,000, 300's a deal. It just, so you don't get what I call like price goggles, meaning you're looking in the past at prices. You go, that's a good price. So here's how you prevent that. Guess what? When somebody offers you a property, don't get stuck on what they offer it for. So I did a live the other day. Someone was like, well, he wanted 200, so I offered him like 170. I go, what was the ARV? He's like, oh, they made their offer based on what the seller told them. And that's what's going to get you in a lot of trouble in this market. So they have no idea what their houses are worth. They're actually looking for realtors to help. Realtors don't know either. They just know they're having problems. So moving forward, you've got to find the right numbers. And it's been really easy the last 4 or 5 years before this. So now it actually requires work. It requires research. And for the most part, you need to work with very motivated sellers and you have to go for a no price. Otherwise, the days of, remember when you could go on MLS, you could offer stuff 85, 90 cents on the dollar and you didn't even worry about it. Like now, that's suicide in today's market. Yeah. So going forward, understanding you're looking at old prices, everyone's like, oh my God, it looks like such a good deal today. Don't. What is it worth today? And what is the conservative ARV on it? Stop looking at the prices sellers give you because it's usually erroneous information. It's bad. And if you start on bad numbers, it's almost impossible to recover at the right number.
Yeah. Well, I got into this like when this is all going on. So I don't even know about, I've never been in, that great market that y'all were in. Like,
well, that's good because most of those people have quit. And then you got a lot of gurus just like, okay, here's what you do. And they've never, ever navigated through these waters. The reality is wholesaling, you can't time it. It doesn't matter. I've made a ton of money in the hottest part of the market and I've made it at the worst. In 2009 and 10, you want to talk? Like I struggled to sell any property. How did I survive? I spent a lot more time with my cash buyers and I got really creative. So we are right back in that scenario. I love Easy Street when it comes because it's easy to take the money, but like you got to live on the tough days, dude. Yep. It's like watching a football game. What was that football game that it was like it was the Jets game. It was 3-3 rolling at the end. And guess what? Someone gave up and 16 seconds left on the clock. This guy goes, I'm just going to take it to the house, man. Guy returns a punt. The first one in the NFL this year. It just goes to show you, you've got to fight like every day and you can't accept the norm. So these changing markets are going to drive most wholesalers out and the ones that can adapt and go forward. I know it seems like a struggle. Number one, you're still a little bit new, which is the good part. Number two, you're in an ever-changing market. So buy today. And guys, please get the ARVs right and stop letting sellers give it to you because it's wrong. And if you start on bad information, you're going to finish on bad information. So how do you navigate through it? You build rapport, you have conversations with people. You hit them with the go for no, and then you just negotiate and work through it. And a lot of times you get the deals on the follow-up. Here's the really cool part, Fernando. No one's swiping deals from you anymore. It ain't happening, man. Like, hey, I got another wholesaler doing great, awesome. Have them go ahead and close on it. Actually, I'll sit back and watch. It's not going to happen. That threat is over. Remember, we did like the last 4 years, it was torture. So-and-so will pay X amount of more, and we felt like we had to bid up. Those days are over. So I'm excited about it. So what seems difficult now will be your greatest asset. So I thought 2009, 10, I'm like, I don't even know what the future of wholesaling was because it was a real struggle. And then for 11 years, Fernando, is the easiest pickings I've ever seen. Wow. So the struggle you can endure now and the wholesaler you become is going to create your successes. It's like that fighter who just got beat up in a 15-round fight. It's the man that comes out of it or the woman that comes out of it that makes them the great fighter going forward. And you're in it. And guys, I will tell you this, your greatest strengths, your greatest like how you grow in life is when you get your butt kicked and you're struggling. Do you know all the greatest inventions, all the greatest like companies created are from struggle? They're never from like everything's great.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have recently seen a company that when everything was great, everybody was happy. And the minute it fell apart, everybody just like jumped shit. I want nothing to do with it. Take their sign off my building, you know? And it's like, give me a break, man. So I commend you on what you're doing. Like, it's like when I watched Zach when he started, although I was heavy on him, on top of him, it's just, you have to go through the journey. And much as you guys go, well, he goes, Zach was your son, you made it easy. I go, no, no, no. He put in the work. He took the action. That's what you guys don't understand. He did the action. He did action tenfold what the average person would even try to do. And that's what you got to take out of it. So congratulations on your success. Just keep doing what you're doing it. And then just keep trying to increase your actions, the level of actions you take, because now you have the ability to point it a little bit more precise. And before you were just kind of like, shoot an open net. And now you're like, okay, I've had success. So some of my graded, here's another tip for you guys. Look at the deals that you've closed and use it as a real learning lesson. How did I get that deal? How can I get more deals like that? And what did I say to that person to make it work? And now no two deals are exactly alike, but you will find common themes. That's how I found probate. You guys realize I went on a 7-year journey till I really targeted probates. Why? Because I did an internal search on the deals I was working on. So I know it's only 2, but like, don't stop what you're doing with that and just find out how you can do it more without driving yourself nuts.
Yeah, because the first one was cold calling and this one was reverse driving for dollars. So I made this recently. So just so I can, be on schedule, but can you see that? It's
Yeah,
like
I like it. Here, let me make it bigger for you.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and key is, guys, it's
great.
whatever works for you. So like, I'm an old school paper guy still. I like to write stuff down. And this guy's Mr. Electronics. It drives me nuts.
My
But
calendar is filled with things and it's perfect.
But I'm getting better with my calendar because he helps me with it. My wife's a big part of it. And like, I'm slowly adapting. Change is hard for all of us. But like, you give me a piece of paper, like, it's done. But like, whatever clicks with you is going to get you to take action.
Yeah.
And then take some time. Like, and I'm sure this next month we'll talk about goals on like, making growth in 2023, but like, do what you're doing. So many people get screwed up because they try to do things differently. And I'm just like, this is boring. This is the boring part of wholesaling. Just do it. And then the idea is where you can consistently get 2, 3, 5 deals a month. And by the way, do not let someone ever measure you by the number of deals you do a month, because it's irrelevant.
It's how much money you make.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess just so I can to finish off here, any word of advice so I can get consistent deals out of it? Because I've been consistent with the action. I just don't know where I'm failing at, So
Are you going after the areas where your cash buyers are wanting to be?
Yeah. So I've learned that there's definitely parts here in Pensacola that cash buyers are not buying just because they're really rough. And so I'm definitely like sticking to like 4 or 5, 4 zip codes for the most part that they're buying in, that I see other people posting deals in. So I'm sticking to that. Also, but for the most part, that's where I do a lot of driving for dollars. But also when I get the probate leads and the pre-foreclosure leads, that's where I really just put sticky notes on all of them. Doesn't matter where they are. So I don't know if I should stop doing that. Only focus the probates in certain areas. I don't know.
Focus the probates in the areas where your cash buyers are wanting to buy it at. And that's probably gonna be my best advice. And just go after the areas where the cash buyers want. Because you said before that 2 of your big issues were deals falling apart because maybe the price is too high. But maybe if you go after the area where the cash buyers want, you can get a better price, which might make it a little easier. So that's the thing I could tell you: keep consistent. Like, just, it's a grind.
Okay.
It gets easier. It just it's, you've hit it during like, a pretty radical change, but this is going to benefit you in the long run, because I went through this exact same thing. The problem is I got used to Easy Street, and then Easy Street turned into like, don't come down this road street for 2 years.
Work street.
And so here's the good news. Most down markets only last on average about 18 to 24 months. When I say down, Now, that doesn't mean if it goes flat, this business actually gets somewhat easier because the prices become predictable. But when they're dropping is the most challenging time in wholesaling. And you're going to have a million people give you instructions. Whatever gets you to get like consistent deals, like keep doing it. So look at the data you have now. Take Zach's suggestion and just like move forward. Do not overcomplicate this business because
the way I see it, like starting in this situation is like I'm doing pull-ups with a weighted vest, and hopefully when everything gets better, it's when the vest gets taken off and it's a little easier. I assume. I don't know. Is that what you're saying?
I will, but I don't know when the vest is coming off. You don't know, and I don't know, and that's the key. And what happens? The reality, the vest never comes off. You just get stronger and you grow, and you just like it just seems easier. Like honestly, the way I wholesale, like the way that it just seems effortless. But honestly, guys, I had a 7-year journey that it was painful, man. Like I made a ton of mistakes. I had to learn everything on the fly because I didn't have anybody really to truly teach you how to scale wholesaling. And by the time it came, I was already kind of established in what I was doing. Now I learned a lot from people, but I've learned that the more people teach the masses, like these cute little techniques, the faster they get shut down, in my opinion. But either way, just keep doing what you're doing. At least you're getting results. And the idea is you can increase your profit margins, but like don't get greedy, especially in this market. Sometimes you just have to take a deal and run. So like sometimes I tell people, you'll never get hurt taking a profit. And some people have too much pride that gets in their way. But I got to tell you, from 2008 to 2010 really made me who I am as a wholesaler today. Like, and you know, all I did was go into the core of wholesaling. I find it the best list possible and I market them like crazy. And I just met with a ton of sellers, and the amount of deals that fell apart and stuff like that, I could probably write a book on it. But, and the amount of times I say, man, I'm not sure if I want to do this, but I remember why I do it. I get freedom of my time. I get to do what I want. And I write my own book, and I never forget about that. If you do wholesaling correct, and by the way, you don't have to wholesale your entire life. Like you can set up if you learn it well, you set up a business and let other people like run it, and you can run it from the top. And then you can focus on like bigger deals and doing it that way. And that's perfectly acceptable. So I always tell people, if you can get through the 2-year grind, mine was 7 just because I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm just telling you 2 years is going to seem effortless. So you're in your first 5 months. So like, enjoy the journey, man. I'd like to tell you there's some light bulb, something super sexy goes on, but man, 2023 can you imagine taking your first 5 months trying to learn this in 2023 is you've gotten through it. Most people don't want to go through the pain of learning wholesaling, and that's why they don't succeed. It doesn't matter if it's paid or not. It's the truth. And by the way, if you pay someone, you still have to go through the journey. It's impossible to skip it because the journey is how you learn the business. And anybody who's any good at wholesaling will tell you the exact same. And any guru who tells you you're going to skip it is just after the cash in your wallet. End of story. So keep doing what you're doing. That's the honest to God truth. I know it doesn't sound sexy, but it is the truth.
Okay, I'll do that. And thank you guys. Appreciate everything.
Okay.
Appreciate
keep doing it, man. Great job, Fernando.
Keep it up.
Thanks, guys. I'll post it on the group so you.
Okay.
All right, love
awesome, man.
Keep it up.
See you.
Thank you.
Boom.